Well, hey, how y'all doing? It's Sharonda, and hey, how y'all doing? So, of course, I am here to talk about some books. It'll be a little different, but it'll be some books. So, let's get into this thing, shall we? All right, so this is going to be a manga. It is called I Will Train You. Uh, and the author's name is Saki. I hope I'm saying that right. So this is a 4 book series right now. I don't know if it's going to be any other books, but right now there's 4 in the series. But I jumped on to this manga because it's in Kindle Unlimited, child. So if you don't know, which a lot of folks probably on the tubes already know, manga and light novels are they're expensive, child. And so when I saw that this series was in all 4 books right now are in the Kindle Unlimited library. So when I was just like, oh, okay, well, let me just jump on this, and I did. And for the most part, I like the series. But let's go into what this series is about. We have Midori, who is in her mama's eyes, she's a little bit lazy, okay? In my eyes, she was a whole lot lazy. She is what they call a job hopper. I think she was like 2021, and her mother wants her to get a permanent job. So her mother sends her off to work for her aunt, who owns a motel. Now, this is a TL manga, and I did my Googles, and TL means teen love. Was in the manga genre. Now, just reading all 4 books of this manga series, I don't know if this could be put up under teen, maybe adult love, maybe, because this full on nakedness, and there was some sexual scenes going on inside of the series. So I was just like, I don't think this is appropriate for teens, okay? They never show, like, they show naked men, but they never show the front parts of the men. The women, you get everything: titties, ass, punani, you get everything with the women. But with the men, you only get like the ass, the back shots, and But I was like, I want to see, you know, I like to see some naked men's,
I would like to
but
see it.
they never give us the naked men's, and I don't know why. But so anyway, in my opinion, I don't think this should be up under teen love. I know different countries mean different things, and within the manga genre, maybe I read the whole definition of it, and it's geared towards more adult women who wants to read mangas and light novels outside of the usual teeny bopper things that go on. You know what I mean? But I don't think y'all should be putting this under teen love. No, ma'am, no, sir. Because wasn't no teen scenes going. I mean, I know teens have sex, but child. Anyway, so in this book we have Midori, who's the main character, and like I said, her mom is sick of shit. Her mama want her to get a real job, not this job hopping, honey, so that you can go. Because she says, like, in the first page, she's like, I don't mind being a job hopper because I can just go get me some cute dresses and stuff. Midori, ma'am. Mm-mm. So her mom was just like, no, you're gonna go work for your aunt, okay? Your aunt owns a hotel and you're gonna go work for her, okay? So she's sent off to work for the hotel that her aunt owns, and it is called the Moonlight Hotel. And when she first gets there, she runs into the manager, Mr. Orishi. I think it was Orishi. And he's just like, and she's just like, oh, I'm new here, I'm a new employee. He looking at her like, fuck you coming in the front door for? You supposed to be coming in the back with the rest of us. And she's just like, oh. And she just right off the door like, this a mean motherfucker. He ain't playing with me. So within the first book, like I said, there are 4 books inside of this series. So in this first book, we have it where Midori is sent off to her aunt to work at this hotel. She runs into Mr. Orishi, who is 29, I believe. He is the manager of the hotel that her aunt owns. And her aunt is just like, when you come here, don't call me auntie. Because when she runs and see her aunt, she's like, oh, auntie. She's like, don't call me auntie, call me mistress. I was like, but you her aunt. But I get it. Her aunt her aunt was trying to save Midori from potential bullying, because it's just like new employees see her come in, it's like, oh, I had to apply and get all this stuff for this job, and you just come in here because your aunt owned the hotel. But listen, ain't nothing wrong with a little nepotism. Like, shit, sometimes it's hard out here to find a job right about now. So if your family member could hook you up, I mean, shit, why the fuck not? But I think from my take on it, I think her aunt was trying to save her, because a lot of the women there were just like, this motherfucker just walk up in here with a damn job. But she is just trying to, like, just learn how to do these jobs or whatever. Her aunt pretty much tells her, like, hey, don't come in here thinking that just because you're my niece, you're going to get any type of special treatment. She even tells Mr. Orishi, like, don't give her no special treatment. She is to be treated like every other employee here. Harsh. Because where's the nepotism, honey? Where's the nepotism? I am your niece. Let me get off easy. But anyway, I was like, no. Treat her just like you manage the rest of the employees here. Treat them like the work. Treat her like the rest of them. So that is what we get inside of the first book. And she is pretty much just like, okay, like I got to motherfucking work up in here. And they're just like, yeah, honey, you have to work up in here. And she runs into like a little bit of issues. There's one woman named, I think her name was Akane. She did not like Midori from jump. I think she kind of like picked up that, because we eventually have like this little interest or a little love romance that is going to happen between Midori and Mr. Orishi, the manager of the hotel. And Akane don't like that because she isn't. This is one thing I be tripping about these damn animes. Why these women be in love with these men that don't be paying them attention like that? But anyway, so we have that. So in book 2, she is pretty much just trying to get her feet on the ground. She is realizing that these people ain't gonna treat me like her aunt said, these people ain't gonna treat her no special kind of way or anything like that. So she starts working hard, getting her feet wet, running around doing the jobs that Mr. Orishi and other folks are telling her to do. So pretty much it's just like she's just like, in book 2, she is just like trying to find solid ground within the hotel. She hears people talking about her in the hotel, and she's kind of like upset about that. And in my opinion, Midori was a little bit lazy before, when she was with her parents, and her mother was like, you got to get the fuck up out of here and go get a job, okay? And you go work for your aunt or whatever. And that's what she did. But she starts to realize that I don't want people to see me as this lazy person. I want to do these things or whatever. So she starts working a little bit harder. And then there's this scene between her and Mr. Orochi where she kind of like has this mole on her neck, and he's just like, cover up your neck when you're here, and we have like this little scene between them or whatever, and she's just like, oh, wait a minute or whatever. So it's just like, oh, okay. But yeah, there's a lot of sexual things going on inside of this book. There's a relationship between Akane and I guess he's just like a junior chef or whatever. I think his name was Hero, and yeah, they having like full blown sex on page, and I was just like, yeah. So the mistress of the hotel does tell Mr. Orishi that she wants him to train Midori in like all things that goes on inside the hotel or whatever. And he's a little bit resistant to it. But I think just like going throughout the series, I think that the aunt initially wanted Midori to take on more responsibilities because she wanted her to, I guess at like some point in time, I feel like take over the hotel or whatever. So Midori had to start taking her job a little bit more serious or whatever. And then also in book 2, we get it where we see Mr. Orishi is being offered a job outside of the hotel, and he is struggling with that because um working at the Midnight Hotel and working for Midori's aunt was kind of like his first job. And he has a loyalty, so I don't think he wanted to. um I see my earrings shining on my face, but anyway, um he has a loyalty to this hotel, so he's kind of like struggling with that. So we get like the beginning of the story there, and then we go into book three, where we see, like I said, it was like an initial kind of like, it wasn't like a full blown kiss between Midori and Mr. Orishi, but he saw that mole on her neck, and he was just like, cover it up, because there's some dirty ass old men that come inside this hotel, so just be careful. And I was, and child, he looked her neck. I was like, do you want to do more to Midori, sir? But she's just like, oh. But I think we start seeing like the beginnings of the initial attraction that goes on between Midori and the hotel manager. So we go inside book three, and Midori is working harder. We also see where Akane, like in book two, we see Akane, who is one of the other young ladies that worked there, and her feelings kind of, even though she's having this relationship with Hiro, he kind of like puts it out there like, Arishi is not going to really like be fucking with you too tough, because at least like you don't like Midori, but at least Midori puts her feelings out there or whatever. And Akane is just like, oh, wait a minute, what? So he's just like, she's letting him know how she feels. She's telling herself, she's being upfront and open with him, while you running around here in secrets, you know what I'm saying? So she has to kind of like deal with that or whatever. But we also see in book three where Midori is kind of like faced with the fact that she might be not possibly, but she might be in love with the hotel manager. And that is a accumulation of scenes that happen between them. And then also in book three, we find out that she finds out that he could be leaving the hotel, and she is really just like upset about that. She doesn't want him to leave, but he kind of like confirms it in this book that he will be leaving, and the person that is offering him the job was somebody they felt like kind of like betrayed the hotel. He was working there, but he left as well, and he's kind of like struggling. Like I said, he's from book two, he's kind of like struggling with that, but it kind of like confirms in book three that he is going to leave Moonlight Hotel and take on another job at this big corporation. And Midori hears him and the aunt talking, and the aunt actually wanted him to take this job, which confirmed my suspicions on why she wanted him to train Midori in all things, possibly being a future manager of this hotel, so that Midori could take over. But Mr. Orishi was just like, the way he felt kind of like betrayed when the person that was manager before him left, but he changed everything around where the hotel can pretty much run without pretty much anybody being in charge. Like the kitchen people would be in charge of the kitchen, everybody that played their parts inside of the hotel would be able to run their parts of the hotel without a manager. But I think the aunt wanted Midori to eventually take over this hotel. And then we go over to book four, where it is confirmed where Mr. Orishi is leaving. He is leaving, and everybody is upset about that or whatever, but they have to talk or whatever. Everybody's like, let him be selfish and let him go, work on his future or whatever. But we also see where Midori and the hotel manager, Mr. Orishi, finally give in to these strong attractions that are starting to be built between them through the course of the previous three books. And they have a celebration. I believe it was at Hero's house? It was at somebody's damn house where they wanted to have a conversation between him. Hero and Akane end up having a conversation, and Hero's just like, he was, even though he was her or whatever, he never really laid his feelings out as well. Even though Akane was in love with Mr. Orishi, that man wasn't feeling her like that or whatever. He started, as soon as Midori walked in the door, I think he was feeling her or whatever. But she never laid her feelings out on the line either. But they both decide to go into a full-blown relationship. So by about book 4, we have Hero and Akane who are in a full-blown relationship, which I was like, well, y'all fucking anyway, so might as well. But we do have a scene where Midori and Mr. Orishi do have she said it wasn't her first time, but maybe it was. But they do have relations with each other, even though he has decided to take on this job at this big corporation, and he's leaving. And when she wakes up the next morning, he's gone, and she's just like, why did you leave? Why didn't you let me see you off or whatever? And he's just like, no, I didn't want you to see me off. You have a job to do. You have to run this hotel. You have to be there greeting guests and all this other stuff. And it's kind of like this wrap up where she tells him, like, you know, by the time you come back, I'm going to be better than you, you know, better. I'm going to be running, not better than you, but I'm going to be running this hotel. You know, better than you ever did, and all this other stuff. So for the most part, I liked it. It's short pages. Like I said, I don't think this needs to be under teen at all, because honey, no, because there are full-blown sex scenes going on up in here. So I'm just like, I don't think this is teen love at all. I mean, like I said, I understand teens have sex, but anyway, don't let your teenager read this. This is more on adult level, okay, in my opinion. But for the most part, I liked the manga. I thought it was really good. I like the world building, and I like the character building. We do see growth with Midori's character. Her being kind of like this lazy kind of a character when we opened up the first book or whatever, you know, sitting on her mama couch eating chips or whatever, talking about being a job hunter or whatever, hopper or whatever. Her mother's like, nah. To when we get to this first book where she has decided, like, I need to be an adult and I need to be doing adult things or whatever. And yeah, I need to be taking these jobs, you know, that I'm taking on. I need to be taking them seriously or whatever. And then, like I said, I think this is where her aunt wants Midori to take over this hotel for her. I don't think her aunt has any interest in running this hotel for a long time. So yeah, I think she wanted Mr. Orishi to train Midori in manager prospects, and the aunt is going to be training her as well to you know, run this business for her in the future. So yeah, it was a good manga. I liked it. I thought it was really, really good. The world building was good. Character growth was really amazing for the main character, which is Midori. Like, yeah. So yeah, I like this. I'm not mad at it. I gotta find another one on another manga series or light novel series within you know, within the Kindle Unlimited universe that I can try out. And yeah, I don't know if there will be any other books in this manga or whatever, but from the way we left off with him, you know, going off to, you know, with Mr. Orishi going off to, you know, to further, you know, to further his future, and with Midori being at the hotel, eventually is what I'm assuming is going to become manager of the hotel. I don't know if there is going to be any other books within this manga series, but for the most part, I liked it. It did what it had to do, and yeah. So that is it for me, and until the next one, later days. Bye.